Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is a long overdue eyeshadow palette declutter. I have too much eyeshadow, but I wanted to pop on first with my face to tell you a little bit more about what's going to be happening with this declutter. So I'm going to be going through all my palettes like a normal declutter, tell you why I'm keeping something or why I'm not. I'm going to try to be a little bit more picky this time because the palettes that I declutter, I'm actually going to post online for sale either on Poshmark or Mercari. I'm not quite sure yet, but the link will be in the description box, and all of the proceeds or profit that I make from selling these palettes are going to be going towards buying donations for local homeless shelters. So the one I'm going to be buying to donate for is called Star of Hope. I think they're only in Houston, but I wanted to take this opportunity to encourage or even plant the seed of idea in your mind to, if you have the means, if you have any extra anything lying around your house, to consider donating it, because a lot of shelters, especially recently, are in dire urgent need of many basic things. The Star of Hope mission works towards aiding homelessness in Houston, but they have one women and family development center where they house young mothers and their children, and they're in dire need, urgent need of things like diapers, baby food in plastic containers, hand sanitizer, just very basic things that, because people haven't been out and about as much, the amount of donations have gone down a lot too. If you are interested in any of the palettes you see me declutter today, consider purchasing them. It feels really awkward saying that. Because these palettes have been used, they're not brand new, I can't donate the makeup itself to Project Beauty Share or anything, but I will post them for severely discounted prices, 50 to 75% off. So please check out the link in my description box if you want. Also, if you do see something in the site that you're interested in, you can message me directly on Instagram and I can probably get a shipping price that's cheaper than the website is offering, so you can save a little bit extra money. I am also wearing some Ana Luisa jewelry in this video yet again. This is the Felicia necklace, and these are the Crescent Moon Huggy earrings. And I did recently do a huge haul and try on of 7 of their pieces, so I'll link that video here. Yeah, I do have a code with them for SallyChoi10 if you want to get 10% off. It's helpful if you're buying one item because their seasonal promotions usually don't apply to just one item. I just wanted to remind y'all in case y'all were thinking about it or were gonna place a purchase and it'll just save you some money. I don't make commission from it or anything. Okay, now let's see all those eyeshadow palettes. All right, so here we are. Here are all of my palettes. It's more than I need. Now, I don't particularly have a plan of action for how I'm going to go through these, so I'm just going to go through them kind of randomly. I'm going to have some that I'm definitely keeping, some that I am pretty decidedly going to declutter, and then there will be a maybe category that I'll return to later after I go through them all the first time. So let me start with some that I'm definitely keeping. There are these 3 of my Anastasia palettes, my Sultry, the Jackie Aina, and my Soft Glam. These are just staples for me. They're not going anywhere. Also definitely keeping will be my 2 Alter Ego palettes. I have the Daydream, which I haven't had the opportunity to dip into yet, and my Artemis palette, which is their newest release. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis, and this is for the Huda New Nudes palette. So keeping these, gonna play around with these more because they're the newest in my collection. Another definite keep is going to be this Pat McGrath Mothership Bronze Ambition palette because I love the formula. It's the only Pat McGrath palette that I have, and it's my most expensive, so I'm going to keep that one. All right, now let's talk about some declutters. Let's see what's first. You know what? One that I'm going to definitely declutter is this Too Faced Natural Matte palette. I've used it maybe 3 times. I got it in a BoxyCharm and it's just not really adding a lot of new to my collection, so I can definitely let this go to someone else who will use it more. Also decluttering is this old Smashbox Vlada 8-pan palette. The color scheme is beautiful. I really enjoyed this for a long time, but I don't know, I just don't reach into this a lot anymore, so that means I don't need it. Another declutter is this Pixie collab palette they did with Weili Hong. I love her. This color scheme is super useful, but it's basic. I really do like the shadows in here. I kept it through a lot of declutters, but I'm trying to be more strict on myself this time, so I'm gonna let this one go to, you know, for a good cause. Now that I've decluttered a couple, let's talk about some other keeps. Major keep, my So Jaded palette. I recently rearranged this whole palette by color. I'll link a video in the cards, so check that out if you haven't, but love this palette, not going anywhere. Another keep is going to be both of my Juvia's Place palettes. I have the Saharan and the Saharan 2, and absolutely blown away by these every single time I use them, and they've been used a lot. Okay, so there are two palettes here that I really like, but I'm actually considering decluttering them. First is going to be my Tartelette in Bloom palette. Like, what? Yeah, as well as my Tartelette Toasted. I do like the Tartelette in Bloom better than the Tartelette Toasted because the Tartelette in Bloom I find is a little more versatile. I don't really like orange eyeshadows that much, and the Toasted has oranges, and I do like that the In Bloom has more pinks. So I'm definitely going to put the Toasted in the Declutter post for sale, and I'll put this in the maybe for now. Another keep for me is going to be my Urban Decay Naked palette. I really do actually like this palette. I know it's pretty polarizing nowadays, but I enjoy these shadows, just swiping one all over my lid for a one shadow look, and I like their like subtle satin metallic formula for that. This is the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie collaboration palette. Geez, I might declutter this one, you know. I really do like the mattes, but these are like very basic mattes, and I enjoy it every time I use it, but I don't need this palette just to keep the mattes. The shimmers are really unique, but they have more of a grainy kind of formula and texture, and they're actually not my favorite. I know a lot of people really enjoy these, but I don't. So I'm gonna post this for declutter. Wow, that was surprising. I actually didn't think I was gonna get rid of that one. Huh. While I'm in the bold decluttering spirit, these three e.l.f. palettes, I don't know, I thought they're pretty new to me. I did a video on these, but I actually haven't really touched these since that video, maybe like once or twice, but these didn't impress me as much as they impressed everyone else. I really do like the shimmers, but I have other shimmers I like, and the mattes were very mediocre to me. I'll put these in maybe. Let me just move out some of my single shadows. Here in these palettes, I have some of my Sydney Grace shadows, and these are depotted from the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette, and I have some more Sydney Grace shadows here. Gonna be keeping these. I've really been liking them since I got them, and that actually hasn't been that long ago. I did make a full video about these, but definitely gonna keep these and play with them more. This is actually not an eyeshadow palette. It has like a lot of random stuff that I've depotted, so I'm going to be keeping this. I'm going to declutter this Carity Nudes and Rudes palette. It is a 21 shadow palette, and it's actually quite nice. The formulas, there's so many different formulas in here. There's matte, there's satin, there's metallic, there's kind of like a more glittery metallic, but I don't reach into this a lot. I think maybe just because, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know why I don't reach into this a lot, but I'm going to declutter it. Here I have the Violet Voss Essentials palette, which I really like a lot more than I thought I would. I ranked this really high when I was ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes. I'll link that video in the eye cards as well. And it is just like, I really like this pink and this pink. Actually, this entire bottom row is just my jam. I don't really like orange. I've already said that before. This gold and this green are actually quite good. But as much as I say I like it, I don't use it a lot, so I'm gonna put this in the maybe. The palette I am decluttering is this e.l.f. 10 Pan Rose Gold Sunset palette. It's actually really nice. I do enjoy it. My favorite shade in here is this olive forest dusty green, and this is just a really nice lid shade. However, I have this kind of color in my Pat McGrath 6-pan palette and also in my Colourpop So Jaded palette. So I don't need to keep this palette for that. I do like this pink matte, but the Violet Voss Essentials has that pink matte. I have other just plain pink mattes. So this one I'm going to declutter. I do like it though. I think it works really well. Here I have the Lamora Exposed Nudes eyeshadow palette. This is an Amazon eyeshadow palette. My sister got it for me one of these like a Christmas past, and I don't use it a lot. Okay, well, this has sentimental value to me. I want to keep it because I do enjoy, these are all satin formulas. They're not mattes and they're not super strong metallics. So I do use this, just swiping one color all over the lid. Maybe, I'm going to put this in maybe. It's hard for me to let go of this. Let's see, a couple that I'm going to keep for sure. Colourpop Going Coconuts. I love, 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 love this palette. I think it's the best curated Colourpop palette so far. I love every shade except for Palm Reader. I don't like that shade because it's very crumbly kind of metallic. But otherwise, I really like this palette, and I have been thoroughly enjoying it ever since I got it. I'm also going to be keeping the Colourpop Pretty Guardian palette they did in collaboration with Sailor Moon. And I'm also going to be keeping the Dream Street, which I just like. I don't know if I'll ever be able to declutter this palette. I'm also going to be keeping the Colourpop Sweet Talk palette. Yeah, I just really like this one too. Colourpop is just so dependable for me. I'm going to be keeping all three of these. I'm going to be keeping my Huda Nude Obsessions palette. I have one in light and one in rich. So the light looks like this. It is the best color story ever. I love it. It's so pretty and it's just like so fairy tale. I really love it. Huda Nude Rich, I'm a little bit more indifferent about, but I really enjoy the mattes, the color scheme of the mattes in here. These kind of pink reddy tones I really like. Even though the shimmers may not be my favorite, I still want to use these a lot more. I will declutter, however, this Huda Huda Mauve Obsessions palette. I got this in an Ipsy add-on. I paid like $12 for it, but oh man, I have barely touched this palette. And the thing is, like, these kind of mattes, I love those kind of colors, the cranberry berry colors. Just don't use it a lot, so for that reason I'm going to declutter it. And I have the Huda Smoky Obsessions palette, which this one, as you can see, I've used a lot. I really like a lot, so I'm going to be keeping it. Yeah, just because. Let's see, a lot of these are like some of my single shadows. This is holding, oh, this is my Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1 palette. These are some singles from Innisfree and like an Ipsy, and this is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette that I've depotted and put in here. I love the Alamar Cosmetics palette, like with a strong love. So I'm going to be keeping these. If I do ever declutter my single shadows, that will be a separate video. I have some Colourpop singles in this Colourpop palette as well I'm going to be keeping, and I've also depotted the Colourpop I Think I Love You palette and the Yes Please palette in here. And I do have a special Colourpop eyeshadow organization / depotting video that I want to film in the future. So look forward to that, but I'm gonna set these to keep for now. Wow, we're really down to our last few. So these two Natasha Denona palettes, definitely keeping. I feel like I'm keeping a lot in this video. I'm trying not to, but like my entire collection, I work hard to curate it, so I'm only keeping what I really love and enjoy. So maybe that's the reason why my ratio of declutter to keeping is a little bit higher, but I just love these two palettes. They work super well. I paid for both of them, like full price, and I just want to keep them. I like them. Ooh, Dose of Colors, Marvelous Mauves. Oh, man, this is such a nice palette. Oh my gosh, I like this so much. Okay, I'll put it in maybe. But I'm already decluttering the other Dose of Colors, the Friendcation palette. And this one is all mattes, which is the formula that I like from Dose of Colors. Okay, maybe. All right, Colourpop Honey. I was so hyped for this palette when it came out. I was really looking forward to a yellow palette. Do y'all remember, like, it feels like forever ago, like a lifetime ago, when Colourpop was starting to come out with their monochromatic palettes. This is something I decluttered, or I threw away the glitter that was in here and put another shade from the I Think I Love You palette, but these yellows are just so good. But how often do I wear them? Actually, I do reach into Dandy and Queen Bee a lot, and I really like Buzzkill because it's a very yellow-based tan, like a transition shade. So when I shear this out, more of the yellow comes through along the blended edge. So I really do like this shade. So okay, I'll keep it. I'll convince myself. Here are the palettes that I've decided to declutter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 palettes. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 palettes that are in my maybe. Okay, so I haven't I mean, this is actually a considerable amount of palettes to declutter given what my size of eyeshadow palette collection started at. But I can do better. I'm gonna move over the Tartelette in Bloom. Oh, my baby, but I'm gonna post this for sale. If it is sold, then it's destiny telling me that it was the right thing to do. So I'm gonna move this over to Declutter. I'm gonna move this over too, just to see how it goes in terms of selling. I'll probably put this in a bundle with some more affordable palettes. Maybe like these 3 together I will sell all together for like a really low price and see how that goes. Man, Marvelous Mauves. You know what? From now on, I'm just going to say, like, I'm going to post these for sale, and what happens, happens. It's destiny. If it doesn't sell, then I get to keep it, and if it does sell, then it goes to a better place in the universe. So I'm just moving all of these over to be decluttered. Only keep what you love, Sally. Only keep what you love and what you need. All right, so final numbers. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 palettes that I'm decluttering. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, here are the 20 palettes, not 21 that I'm keeping. Well, if you count the Lamora palette and the Tarte like shimmer palette, that's 22 palettes, but 20 palettes that are still in their palette packaging. You know what? I'm proud. I'm proud of that. Now, I'm actually going to move these aside, and while I'm in the decluttering momentum, why not declutter my face palettes too? I realized while putting out my face palettes that I had put these 2 Wet n Wild palettes in my face palettes little storage. So, man, what do I do with these? I really love them. Okay, no, okay, I'll post them. I'll post them for sale and see what happens. I do have this magnetic palette that's filled with some blushes, bronzer, highlighters, but this is like, I use this a ton, so I'm gonna keep these. Face palettes, absolute favorite face palette, number 1 ever, top recommend is the Smashbox Cali Contour. It's so, so, so good. I bought this months and months ago, and I still love it as much as I did the day I got it, which is a good sign for the longevity of affection for this product. I'm gonna declutter this. This is an Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Peachy Love, and this is the best color scheme for me in terms of the shade variations they have of these blush trios, but I have a lot of blush, like a lot of blush. I made a ranking blushes video, yeah, I'll link that, but I have way too much, so I'm gonna declutter this. This is actually like a face and eye palette. I mostly use this for my brows. This is this is from Viseart, by the way. This has some like cream gels and then a bunch of different brow color powders. I use this to fill in my hairline sometimes, and I use either this dark brown or a combination with the black to fill in my brows. So I do use this. I'm gonna keep this. I have 2 Kevyn Aucoin, like these are the larger size of the face products. I have the Neo Highlighter in Sahara and the Neo Bronzer in Capri. So I bought this bronzer in Sahara because of Hannah Louise Poston. She completely went through a whole one of these, and I used this side as a very, 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 very light bronzer for like a is she wearing makeup kind of look, and I have used it a lot. You can see some of the wear from my brush, and this side I do use as a highlighter. Man, I like this. And it's Kevyn Aucoin, so it's kind of pricey, but I've used this to like a satisfying amount, I think, and I'm going to post it for someone else to enjoy. I do like these, but the effect they give is like very, very soft. So if that's your style, I think these will be good for you. Here I have the bronzer, Neo Bronzer in Capri, and it has a bronzer, a blush, and highlight, and it's kind of a more cool tone pink. I really like using this whole area as a blush, kind of a little bit of a red pink toned blush in this region. This is quite bright, and it will show up quite bright on your cheeks. So this has like a huge range of versatility. Man, I keep on talking myself into wanting to keep these, but I'm gonna post them. This Becca, Chloe, and Malika collaboration face palette I'm keeping. I love. You can see all the use around this bronzer especially. This highlighter is actually quite bright and potent as well. It reminds me of even their normal highlighter formula. I really like this. I'm gonna keep it. One that I'm gonna post / declutter is this. This is the, what is it called? This is the Endless Bronze and Glow. I think this might have been the one that's in collaboration with Chrissy Teigen. This is actually brand spanking new, like untouched. So I'm definitely going to post this. This Wander Beauty Trip for 2 blush and bronzer duo I really enjoy. Maybe I'm influenced because Hannah Louise Poston, that Lauren May Beauty really likes this Costa Ray bronzer. It's quite of a, I like that it's a lighter tone bronzer because then it's harder for me to go overboard with it and look like a little extra. So I like this. I'm going to keep it for now. Now we're down to the final 2. I have this Nars Narcissist blush palette, and this is in the shade Wanted 2. This is a darker variation among the Wanted. It's a little hard to open. So those are the shades of blush. They're super, super, super pigmented. You could pretty much use these as eyeshadows, and they're such a good formula. Man, okay, I'm gonna declutter this, and if it's sold, it's destiny. Like I said before, I have a ton of blushes that I just need to be honest with myself, tell me I don't need this, although I really do like this pink shade. It does remind me a lot of Benefit Dandelion though, and I do have that blush already. This highlight is actually more of a blush topper for me. It's a little dark to be a highlight on its own. I do like this orange tone for when I want to wear orange, but the rest of these are a little bit strong for me in my skin tone, so I am going to declutter this hesitantly. And last item is this MAC Hyper Real Glow palette. This is the lighter variation of the two. It has like the more of the rose gold lettering. There's a darker, more gold one that has like yellow gold lettering. This is what it looks like. I've used it a good amount. I'm keeping it. I haven't, when I think about it, when I think back, I haven't used this a ton, like of very recently, but my memories of using this are just so good. And now that I've decluttered some other stuff, I will hopefully use this more. So I'm keeping this one. All right, here's final results. In this little container, I have all of the face palettes and eyeshadow palettes that I'm keeping. This is totally a manageable number for me, especially like the eyeshadow palettes. If this is all of the ones that I own, and then my few palettes of singles, or like a couple palettes of singles. All of my face palettes that I'm keeping, and all of these are the eyeshadow palettes and face palettes that I am decluttering. Woo! I'm actually really proud of myself. That's pretty good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was fun. I know eyeshadow palette declutters are super satisfying, and you get to see YouTubers' whole eyeshadow palette collections as well. These will be posted for sale, like severely discounted. Feel free to shop in the link in my description box, and all of the profit will be placed towards getting donations for my local homeless shelter, Star of Hope. Another one in Houston, if you are in the Houston area, is the Beacon. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me as always. I hope I'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember that y'all are my treasure. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!